Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
The next topic is transportation. Question number 1. Draw the schematic diagram of flow of blood in humans. So for that, you have to draw this schematic diagram, not the real picture. Alright. So start from heart, lungs. So the heart, you can show the 4 chambers. There is a wall in the middle between the left side and the right side. And the left side and the right side, they are attached by these valves. The upper 2 chambers are called atrium and the lower 2 chambers are called ventricles. So start from the lungs. The lungs gets oxygenated, that is, they receive the oxygen from the lungs and the blood gets oxygenated. This oxygenated blood is supplied from lungs to the heart through a vein which is called the pulmonary vein. So the blood vessels which carry the blood from the organs towards the heart are called the veins. So this is the pulmonary vein which is bringing the oxygenated blood into the left atrium. This blood that enters the left ventricle. Then from the left ventricle, it goes to all the tissues of the body, and at the tissue level, it forms the capillaries. These are the smaller tubes forming a network to supply oxygen and other nutrients. These capillaries then join again to form the vein. Blood vessel which is supplying blood from the heart to all other organs, the main artery which comes out is called the aorta. Then it branches out and goes to each and every cell part of the body. So these are the arteries. Now arteries again, capillaries again join together to form the vein. Now the blood gets deoxygenated because all the tissues in the body, they absorb the oxygen which is required for respiration and they release carbon dioxide into the blood. So this blood becomes deoxygenated. So through the veins it is supplied to the right atrium, which is the upper right chamber of the heart. Then during contraction, this blood enters the right ventricle. From the right ventricle, it goes to the lungs through pulmonary artery. It supplies deoxygenated blood to the lungs, where this carbon dioxide is released, oxygen enters, and the blood again becomes oxygenated. So this is the flow of the blood. This is the schematic diagram which explains the flow of the blood in human bodies. Question number 2. Why it is necessary to separate the oxygenated blood from the deoxygenated blood? So as you can see, in the blood there is a central wall which is called the septum. It separates the left side and the right side of the heart. There is no connection. The left side contains the oxygenated blood, while the right side contains the deoxygenated blood, so that oxygenated and deoxygenated blood do not get mixed up. The question is, why is it so necessary? So basically humans and birds, there are many organisms which are warm-blooded. So we need constant supply of oxygen to release energy to keep our body warm. Secondly, the energy requirement of our body is high because of many physical exercises, and inside the body also all the organs are working continuously. So we need a higher supply of oxygen. So if the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood will get mixed up, the efficiency will reduce, right? So that is why it is important to separate the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Next question. Describe the double circulation of blood. So for this question, you can describe this flow diagram, and then you can point out that during one cycle, the blood enters the heart twice. First from the lungs and then supplied, and from the organs also, it doesn't go back directly to the lungs but to the heart. So during this one cycle, the blood enters the heart 2 times, right? So that is why it is called double circulation of blood. Next question. What are the components of transport system in humans? So transport system in humans basically has 2 components, 2 parts. First is the circulatory system, and the second one is lymphatic system, right? So in circulatory system, the parts are firstly the heart, which pumps the blood, which is the pumping organ, and then the blood vessels. Blood vessels are the tube-like structure which actually carry the blood to all parts of the body. Under this there are three types: arteries, veins and capillaries. And the third component is the blood itself. The blood contains the liquid part of the blood is plasma. Then there are cells, RBCs, WBCs and platelets. So all these are the components of circulatory system. On the other hand, in lymphatic system, the lymph, which is the liquid which flows in the lymphatic organs, and then there are lymph nodes, right? So these are the components of transport system in humans. Next question: differentiate between the transport of materials in xylem and phloem, right? So basically the transport system in plants involve two vascular tissues, the xylem and the phloem. The first difference: xylem carries the water and the dissolved minerals, while the phloem transports or conducts the food materials or the nutrients. The second difference: xylem carries water and dissolved minerals from the soil, from the root hair they enter, from the soil they enter the root hair, so from the root towards the each and every leaf. While in the phloem case, the transportation is from the leaves to the storage organs. Because photosynthesis takes place in the leaves, so whatever food is prepared, it is transported to the growing parts or to the storage organs. The third difference is, in case of xylem, the movement is unidirectional, right? From the roots, it's upward, unidirectional, that is only in one direction. But in phloem, the movement is bidirectional. From the leaves, it is moved to the storage parts. Then if there is some growth requirement on this part, then the food moves back to the growing parts of the plant. So these are the differences between xylem and phloem.